Hey everyone, Scotty Connery, West Ham Fan TV. Welcome to the big match preview. Today I am previewing Saturday's fixture against Sheffield United at the London Stadium 3 PM kickoff, where we look to bounce back after back-to-back defeats to Crystal Palace and Everton. Everton probably one of the worst, if not the worst display of the season. The inconsistency again in our side is creeping back in. This fantastic start to the season that we've had has just ended up being a typical mediocre start. 3-3-3 wins, losses, draws. It's just so typical, and to be in such a decent position going into that game against Everton and then just put a performance like that is shambolic. It's shambolic. The amount of space that we gave Everton, I think, looking back at the game, because I wasn't there watching it on the TV, they showed a still of the game and the gap between our defence and our midfield that allowed players like Iwobi so much space in the middle to attack our back line and to get the ball, so much time. And when you look back at Everton, look at the gaps between their back line and midfield, and we play a similar system, with a lone striker and the supporting players coming in from wide and that player playing behind the main forward. But it's just the gaps that consistently appear in our system compared to what Everton showed against us. The back four and the midfield, they were together, they were a unit. The way the forward line worked is much better than how we have been working in the previous games. And for me, it's something we need to work on. You look at Mark Noble, for instance. He's meant to be playing sort of a deeper role alongside Declan Rice. And he's shutting the goalkeeper down when Heller's pulling out left. Where's Lanzini? For me, Lanzini should be doing that. If we're playing Lanzini sort of as the attacking player of the midfield, he needs to be a lot closer to Heller to give him a bit of support, because he gets so isolated and up against big centre-halves like the likes of Keane for Everton. He's going to struggle. He did play, he's probably one of the better performers on the day, but we need to support him. And we show when we do support him and when we move the ball quickly, we play, tippy-tappy, fast football. As we saw against Palace, the goal we scored against there, we move the ball quick. We do cause teams problems. But it just worries me going into this game, especially how organised Sheffield United are going to be. They're going to be very, very, they could be buzzing, let's be honest. They've had a decent run and they're above us in the league. Good victory over Arsenal. Granted, Arsenal had a lot of the ball, but they're resilient, they stick together, they work as a unit. They don't leave a lot of gaps in between the back line and midfield for us to exploit. And we struggled against Palace to create chances. And Palace sat back quite a lot in that game and gave us a lot of the ball. But we did still carve out chances against Palace. But it's just going to be a lot more difficult against Sheffield United. As I said, they are a tight-knit unit. They're all working for each other. They're in a decent bit of form. They've not lost in the Premier League away from home. I think they've got the second best defensive record in the Premier League as well. They've only conceded 7 goals. So even though they're not scoring a lot, they are very, very tough to break down. So we are going to need to be on it. We have got to move the ball quickly. Every player, we've got to be, as I said, tighter together as a unit, moving forward and defensively. So it's not going to be an easy game. It's a game we should be going into as favourites, but as I said, with their form, the way they've been away from home, we're probably, looking at, we're a bit of the underdogs in this one, even despite the decent start to the season that we've had. So hopefully we can turn it around. We don't normally have that many poor performances on the spin. As I said, it is worrying. We're going into this game, no win in our last 3, if you include the cup games. So it's going to be very, very tricky. Going into the game, injury-wise, we've still got no Winston Reid, Antonio Fabianski. Slight doubt on Aaron Quezel. Hopefully he'll be back fit. I didn't think Masuaku had the best of games. I think that comes with the stop-start that he's had this season, coming into the side, going out, the side coming back in. I don't think the international break has helped as well. We seem to have broke up our rhythm. We haven't been at our best since the first international break. So, it is a little bit worrying. Sheffield United, clean bill of health. Every player available. And as I said, they're going to be up for this one. They're going to be looking at it as a nice sculpt. Their fans are going to be wanting to get one over on us. So let's be honest, we want to get one over them. We had to pay them 23 million because they can win one game in 10. So, this is payback. And I want to see that from the players. I want to see the players. I want to see a response from every single West Ham player going into this game from that dismal performance against Everton. And then we can kick-start and start going again. Again, when we played Everton, we had a chance to go third. We blew it, we bottled it, whatever way you want to look at it. But we need a bit more consistency. We need to be putting teams like Sheffield United to bed. That's no disrespect for them. They've had a fantastic start to the season as a newly promoted side. But we need to be turning these teams over, if I'm honest. And I'm hoping that Everton game was a wake-up call. And a few people, personally, I think Declan Rice has played a lot of football. I think he needs a rest. I'm not saying, I still think he's a fantastic player and he should be one of the first names on the team sheet. But for me, he just looks a bit tired. That could be the fact that he's not getting the support that he needs from the midfield. Let's say to work on it. He's played a lot of football for a youngster. So maybe it could be time to set him aside, let him have a bit of a rest him for a game, bring in Wilshere, see how we do with that. But again, it's going to be very, very tough to do that because for me, you need your best players playing every week. And as I said, he just looks a little jaded. That's my opinion anyway. Let me know what you think. Let me know, am I talking nonsense? Do you agree with what I'm saying? He does look a bit, he's lacking support, or is he actually tired from the amount of football that he's had to play? We're playing for England and things like that. I fully expect Yarmolenko to come back into the side. I thought we were much improved when he come on against Everton. Anderson had a very, very off day. Fornals, I think, is still struggling with the physicality of the Premier League. So I expect Anderson to start in this one. I expect Yarmolenko to come in for Fornals. Lanzini needs to up his performance as well. He's been very, very off the ball since he's got his new contract. And as I said, I just think if we can get forward, get closer to Allaire, support Allaire a lot more, we can win this one, but it is going to be tough. Thank you very much for watching. We will be outside the game after the final whistle doing fan cams, so come along and see us there. PMP will be filmed as well once we finish all the fan cams, and most of them will be uploaded on Saturday night, so make sure you check out all our other videos. One thing left to say, come on you Irons.